First of all, Peggy Lee, I have to welcome you back to our Dallas-Fort Worth area. It's good to see you.
Thank you so much, and it's so good to see you.
You know, I was thinking that it was maybe just barely a year ago that you were here until I went back into my records, and it was a year ago in October.
Yes, that's right. And let's see, did I go from here to New Orleans?
I'm not really sure whether you came from New Orleans or you went to New Orleans.
Well, whatever it was, I
but at
had
any
a
rate,
wonderful time here and there, too. And last time the rain was going sideways, and I couldn't figure out what that was about. And Mayor Wise and his lovely wife, Sally, were here.
Yes.
In the rain.
And of course, it was during that engagement. I don't know if you know this, but it was during your Fairmont Hotel engagement here in Dallas that you set a new record for the house. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. That's marvelous news. Thank you.
Yeah. So, of course, we're looking forward to your opening tonight, Thursday night, in the Venetian Room. And what do you have planned for us this time?
Well, I have a totally new program, and except for things such as Fever and Why Don't You Do Right and Is That All There Is, and but all the arrangements, the new ones, are all done by Artie Butler, and of course I have Lou Levy here with me, as usual,
Yes.
conducting and looking handsome, and I have some other handsome men with me, Dick Borden, who plays drums for me, and John Pisano, who was formerly with the Tijuana Brass, and he just took a little hiatus to come here with me for this engagement. So, and then John Whitfield is coming in from New York. He'll meet us today, and we're really looking forward to it, and I hope that you will enjoy it too.
I'm sure I will. And Peggy, I have to tell you this too, that one of the musicians I know who played your engagement the last time, and he's played for all the biggies, and he told me that bar none, playing your arrangements and working for you and with you was the biggest thrill he ever had in his life. And I just thought I'd publicly tell you that.
Thank you. Well, I really must say that I'll tell those arrangers what he said.
Well, he meant also, you know, the charisma and the exciting style that you have. I wanted to ask you, since we're in a holiday week here, Peggy, where were you at Christmas time? Working someplace?
Well, it was really quite confusing because I came home from Las Vegas from a very successful engagement with Alan King, and I didn't have the usual amount of time to do all of the Yuletide parties at my home and all the decorations. But we had an early Christmas, which confused all of us. So we kept having Christmas after Christmas after Christmas after Christmas. And I was just a little worried that I was going to get all my group together today. But they all showed up at 7 o'clock this morning.
And of course now, in a few days, we'll be going into a new year, and I have to say also that she will be at the Fairmont through January 6th, so if you're wondering what to do for New Year's Eve, you might come down and see Peggy Lee. But as we look back over 72, Peggy, for you, what would be some of the highlights of the year, things that you did and things that happened to you?
Well, I think that the most exciting thing is that I have the rights to make a motion picture of the life of Claude Debussy based on the novel Clair de Lune, written by Pierre Lemire.
Now, what do you mean when you say you have the rights?
Well, I purchased I optioned the rights to make the motion picture.
You're going to produce it then?
Yes, I'll be executive producer. I'm smart enough to know that I need a good line producer and some other technical people, but I'm very excited about it, and I can't tell you yet, but a very big star is reading the book at the moment, and it's really, I remember when I heard Clair de Lune played badly by, somebody who wandered into a club and thought that they were pianists or something, you know, when the orchestra was not working. And I've always loved the music of Debussy, but I had no idea he was so interesting and such a sensuous man. He had many, many love affairs, very interesting ones. His biggest one was with one of the two top courtesans in Paris, and she gave up all of her riches and everything to go and live with Claude in the garret with his cat and write all that beautiful music. And the one that he wrote for her was Afternoon of a Fawn.
Peggy, is this a story or a property that you've wanted to work with for a long time?
Well, it's rather, excuse me, it's kind of a strange story because years ago when I was traveling with Benny Goodman, I used to carry around Laurel Newell's harp music playing, made with the flaxen hair, and then she had some Ravel in there too, Introduction and Allegro. But one of my favorite things was Walter Gieseking's version of the Ingolf Cathedral. And I found as I went along, you know, the Afternoon of a Fawn and La Mera, of course, and all those marvelous things. But this just happened last May, just before my birthday. What a nice birthday present. I found the book in my own library. I had ordered a group of biographies, and a house guest took it off the shelf and said, "This is a marvelous story. Have you read it?" And I said, "I can't believe I haven't." I said, and I was packing, so I put it in my bag, and I said, "Let me take it with me." I couldn't put it down, and I've just been after it ever since, and now everything is rather secure, and we're on our way.
Does the movie have a title yet?
No, it doesn't. Our working title is Claude, but...
But do you think it'll come out in '73? Is that what you're shooting for, to
That's
come
my
out?
goal.
To come
But
out.
it might be '74 because we really want to do it right, you know. Perhaps we'll have to go to France for some things. And
Will you, like Hitchcock, play a small role even?
there is one role that the author wishes that I would play, and it's a very interesting small cameo type thing. One of Debussy's first loves was an older woman, and when he was late 20s, and he almost left the Academy, almost gave up the Grand Prix prize, the whole thing, he wanted to give up everything for this woman, and she loved him enough to leave him, and told him that later he would see why. And he met her later. Well, I shouldn't tell you everything. It's very sad when they finally met again.